Okay, so when you buy a new car nowadays, most times they say you don't get a spare anymore. So, 2021 Jeep Compass, we get what's called an inflator kit. We have the messy little cargo area here. So we've got a little inflator pump back in there, and that's what you get nowadays. So it's not real safe, so we had to get a spare. So we got a spare from Discount Tire. So we had to get the wheel and the tire. Well, the wheel, for just a spare, it's actually a used steel wheel from a salvage yard that they got, and we have a brand new tire. So they balanced it, and so now I'm going to put it back in the spare tire area. But just to make sure it fits, I made a little template of the bolt pattern, and just for my own peace of mind, without having to change over a tire to see if it'll actually so when we got the tire, they didn't tell Jen that it was going to be a used steel wheel, because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, it's kind of dirty for a new wheel, and then I noticed it had like a little notch in it right here. But they balanced it, so we got to wait there, and we got to wait on the inside here. But I wanted to go ahead and fit up the pattern just to make sure. Okay, yeah, so just double checking them to make sure it does work. It's a Mopar steel rim, which is probably why it was $150 for a used rim with a little nick in it right there. So this is going to be good for a full-size spare versus the little donut spare. So if we're out driving, cross country, whatever, get a flat, we can change the tire and still sustain highway speeds instead of having to stay at 50, 55 miles an hour, whatever that donut spare is rated at. They're not as good as a full-size spare. But another issue is there's no jack to jack up the car. So we got to get a jack for it too, and I can get one for like 50 bucks. So we'll be good to go. We still have the inflator kit. If we need to do that, we'll have a full-size spare and a jack for safety. So. Okay, so we got the old floor mats out of here and everything kind of cleared away. But before I can put the spare tire in here, it looks like I'm gonna have to get some tools to lift this out of the way so the spare will set down in there. Gee, this might create an issue. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a ratchet, a handful of sockets here, because it might be metric. I was figuring that was ½ inch. Actually, it's probably gonna be maybe a 9/16. So there's 9/16. Nope, that was too big. Guess it was a ½ inch. Yep, ½ inch. Get this old critter out of here, set the spare in, and then figure out what we need to do with this styrofoam box here. We might have to make adjustments for that. Well, let's see. I might need to get a longer bolt. Oh, maybe not.
He said something about lug nuts. What is that? I don't.
Yeah, because if we got another tire or wheel, if we got a factory one, it's going to be a ridiculous price for it to keep those same lugs. But if you get an aftermarket wheel, it's going to take different lug nuts, different depths or something like that, and then there's going to need a lug nut kit possibly. Those are all just possibilities. But this was the easiest way to do it. So we'll snug this up. That's probably good enough. I don't want to get too tight. I don't know how this thing is going to strip out. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I don't think we're going to be able to keep your styrofoam tray, babe, with a full-size spare.
That's okay.
In it. So I'll get a bag to put that in, a tool bag or something. Got to get a jack and a lug wrench, and we're going to be good to go.
Can I put the
Yeah, the jumper cables and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and set it in the middle of the tire there. Grab them. And our emergency charger. Actually, that'll probably go right here. Okay. All right, so I'll get a nice little tool bag to put this air inflator in, and we'll be good to go. Okay.
Thanks, Brent.
You're welcome, baby.